I guess it's just one of those things where you could say like you can keep it going as long as he feels like it.
Aye.
Or if he just decided he wanted to end it, he could just sort of stumble across One Piece and be like, oh, here it is.
One Piece is, I think, just an idea. I highly suspect One Piece is not a thing.
One Piece was in your heart all along.
Imagine watching like 2,000 episodes and that is what it is.
Aye, like the King of the Pirates or whatever, like it cuts back to him and he goes like, nah, just joking.
Exactly, it's Goldie Roger. It's just a pure like envelope and it's just him like going lols. He just punches out Cody.
I owe you one massive fortune or something.
He said that if they do it live action, that none of the crew can like get romantically involved with each other. He said that's a specific condition of his pirate crew. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. How come? Well, because none of them have like a romantic relationship at all.
Right.
In the series, and he just wants that to be a thing. He doesn't want it undermined by like, that the sort of element of they're pumping each other. There's enough pure fan service, you know what I mean? Of every character in this shagging every other character. Last thing you need is like a live action version for people to be smutch. Although I saw somebody on Facebook post a page that was like 4 screenshots going, I think I've downloaded the wrong One Piece. And it's like basically porn stars done up as like Nami.
Right.
You're like, fuck's sake. But you know what I mean, they'll make porn out of anything.
What's the rule 40 or something? If you can imagine it, like there's porn of it.
Aye.
Isn't that a thing?
It's like Sonic. There's like Sonic fan fiction. There's
yeah.
Sonic shagging Samus. Fan fiction.
I'm sure there is.
Like, okay, just mash that together. Nah, that's cool. Because Caitlin was like that. So our sister paid for hers. And we joked afterwards. Caitlin goes like that to me. She goes, did you pay for it? Like, and I'm like, nah, Jack just gave me it. It's like, what? No, you were meant to give him money for it. And I was like, well, clearly it was a test then. And I just fucking failed it. Because I was like, oh, thanks.
What? You minded the stall for me while so that was your...
That was my reward.
Payment, yeah.
Well, yeah, I wasn't sure. It's not even about the money. It's one of those. If you want the money, I'll give you the £3 or whatever for it. But it was funny that Caitlin was just like, what? Why did you not have to pay for it? And I was like, just Jack likes me. I'm like, haha.
It's just so bizarre because it's the actors in it as well. Like you said, Charlie Sheen's ex-wife or whatever is there. DDP, the Batman guy is DDP. He was a wrestler.
Aye, yeah. He's actually, I think, pretty good.
Yeah, he was alright, wasn't he?
He's probably the only one who's actually his acting's pretty good. It's pretty. He's like a grizzled Batman. He just looks dead out of shape. That's the only letdown I feel is it's really hard to immerse yourself in the superhero world when he looks like he couldn't fight sleep.
Yeah, maybe because I know he was a wrestler. To me, he looks like a kind of dude who was in shape and is probably still. He could probably still bench a bit, but not. He does look out of shape. I agree, but it's sort of. He's got a workout system called DDP Yoga.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's his thing now. Is he does like yoga and people swear by it. They say it's actually really good. You know, some like sort of diet plan and yoga and all that pish.
And it's slightly higher, like say 9 or 10 out of 10. And I'm like, well, that's just pretty telling, isn't it?
Is that a guy or is that a...
That's a woman.
Is it a woman? It's just the face.
She's vile.
I
can't imagine how they're going to bring this to live action. I'm a talking reindeer. Fucking Luffy's face just sums it up. Exactly. Did he just talk? And I think it's a shame, depending on how you felt about it. You know.
I think Andrew Tate is a piece of garbage, right? But I just want to make that clear, right? But he said something that I kind of agree with, and I'm paraphrasing here because I don't know verbatim what it was, but he basically said like, if like your girlfriend breaks up with you and then like 5 minutes later she's like getting pumped, don't feel bad because she's garbage. Like
she's low class.
Moving on so quickly. Yada yada yada. Like she's not worth it. And like I'm like, well, he's expressed it like a terrible misogynist, but I kind of agree, and I think the same thing for dudes though. I mean, like if your bed, if their side of the bed's not even cold yet, and you've got someone else in it, then I think that's gross.
I watched, and it's probably the first time I've watched Andrew Tate. I watched 2 minutes of him talking to Piers Morgan about the.
I would just love to the two of them in a room, and I just charge in and just beat the shit out of both of them.
And they're talking about Israel and Palestine.
Right.
And
those two who are
exactly, I know, like what a fucking topic for the two of them to discuss.
What I do.
And I can't remember. Pierce asked him some pure question to pure make him look like a dick, as if to say like, "Oh, you agree with us?" And he hits out with some, like you say, just some pure misogynistic like reply along the lines of, I don't know, like,
"Oh, I'll tell you what, all the birds over there need right here, I could shag it, yeah. That was so hard hold to bite."
Exactly. It was just like, shut up, mate. It's like you fucking don't know what you're talking about. But he thought that by getting really angry with his reply, like that was it. He was pure winning the argument. I'm like, mate, I've seen hundreds of guys like you who, as soon as they start losing the argument, just pull out the pure alpha male aggressiveness.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fly because he was making no point. I mean, Piers Morgan.
He was making up for it with volume rather than.
Other than like message and have you heard of the 7 year itch?
Isn't it the clap or something?
No.
Isn't it?
That's a good
I
answer.
thought it was
No, it's the 7 year itch.
STD?
Are you at it?
No, I'm being.
You're being deadly serious with me. No, the 7 year itch.
Have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
No.
They're singing something about, they're doing like the roll call, like chants.
Right.
It's like, got the herpes, the clap, and the 7 year itch.
No, this.
So what's the 7 year itch then?
The 7 year itch is when you've been with your partner for 7 years.
Right.
You're pretty much sick of them and you're ready to get another one.
Right.
And they reckon it's a genuine phenomenon. Like,
well,
after 7 years, you're kind of like you can decide to sort of stay or go.
Isn't it every 7 years all the cells in your body have like replaced themselves by that point?
See, because it might be related to that.
I mean, maybe because
my balls aren't the same balls.
Well, kind of. Because every different cells regenerate or replace themselves or whatever. I'm probably butchering. I'm probably explaining this like I'm wrong, but at different rates. Like, doesn't your liver?
Exactly, your liver's like every 3 months or something.
And that's how it can you can donate half of it and all that shit. But yeah, after 7 years, it'll none of your cells are the same anymore. They're all kind of have been replaced with new ones.
Yeah.
So it's like every 7 years is a new you. And so yeah, maybe that's like you've changed to the point where, because your taste buds change, and that's kind of a weird example, but like your taste buds change, so like your preferences to things might change. You might be, and then that plus like the experiences you've had and the new memories and all that crap, you will be different people. And I guess it's just if you've kind of changed, if you're both going like. Everybody's changing, but are you both changing going in the same direction, or are you changing going in different ones, I guess?
Exactly. Are they sort of stayed the same and you're a totally different person?
Yeah.
That's I definitely think it's a phenomenon. Chaotic evil. I think you'd probably choose a prenup.
No, chaotic evil. Chaotic evil's not that fun because it'd just be like, what'd you do? I just killed him. Like, that's the problem with chaotic evil is like, alright, this guy just saved your life, what do you do? I stab him. Like, that's chaotic evil sounds fun, but like when you actually like play it,
it's so impractical.
You're right.
I
get what you're saying though. You'd be like,
I quit a D&D sort of sesh, just because two guys were just playing like, wasn't even fucking chaotic evil. They were just playing chaotic dicks.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna steal him. It's like, fuck me, can we actually go on an adventure? No, I'll pickpocket him and build a whole fucking prostitute empire in the city. Like, I don't have fucking time for this. I want to go and just explore a dungeon. Jesus, is that so much to ask?
And it was on Facebook. It was years ago. I think it was like Mindcore or some shit like that.
Mindcore?
Mindcore or some shit like that.
Right.
They just shared interesting facts.
Right,
but it shared one, and to be fair, they did the typical studies have shown, without telling you which studies and what have you, but it was like studies have shown that people who like constantly share on social media how great the relationship is and stuff like that are usually not necessarily always like the least sort of secure in the relationship. Yeah. She was like, this isn't true, me and my boyfriend are perfect together and we share each other like constantly, and it was like, alright, 18-year-old wee Shelley for Rutherglen.
Exactly.
Like, because someone had replied to her like, okay, you're one example of anecdotal evidence clearly is better than the empirical data that has been gathered. Like.
Man, don't get me wrong, studies are released for money. Like, scientists are paid to do studies.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, studies, I hate that phrase. Studies have shown, because like what I can do it right now. Is your name Stuart?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I did a study and it showed that 100% of people are called Stuart. Like, yeah. Unless you have further info, like, it means nothing.
Minimum amount of people you need for like a statistical like significant.
I mean, at least 100, surely.
No, it's only about 38, 39.
Why is that?
I don't know, but you need that minimum amount.
Yeah.
But then what they also do is you need that minimum amount to show a pattern. See, if you have that number, but you've selected it.
Deliberately selected.
Yeah, if you picked it out of a pattern of 200, right, and it just so happens that you've picked a section of 39 that agrees with your hypothesis. It doesn't matter that all 160 others all say no, shite. Toothpaste caused like anal bleeding. It's like, no, we've picked out these 100% of respondents said it was good. You can selectively pick those 38. No one's going to stop you. Like that. Who's going to fucking read this study?
Yeah.
So that's a fact. That's definitely what happens.
So don't take the studies have shown thing too seriously, but it's also like data kind of trumps your one, your example. Oh, well, my pal done it, he said it was alright.
It's this Kanye West story.
Here's why I don't like him, right? Nothing about the Hitler patter. Did you hear his Hitler patter?
What was his Hitler patter?
He was in an interview and he was saying, all human beings have something to contribute. Hitler especially. And people have sort of taken that clip out of context. Not that there is a good context for it, but anyway, there was a sparring video when I was at uni, just like we were training, and there's like 5 seconds of a Kanye West tune off in the distance playing through like a speaker, and you can barely even hear it. And he claimed like the copyright struck my video, and I was like, "Are you serious?" So we had to mute it, and YouTube gives you like sort of royalty-free music you can just like add in. So I had to add in like Bach or something like that, some classical music, and it was just ridiculous. So like when I sent it to like the team to watch back, they were just all the questions were like, why is it like muted and classical music? And I had to explain that's why. Because dirty, smelly Kanye West needed the
75 pence or whatever.
As if the quarter of a pence that video would have made.
I was thinking about high school, which I let's say very rarely do. And I was recalling a time back when I was in computing.
Yeah.
And we had a substitute teacher. And stop me when you think the story deviates into just downright fiction.
Right.
But we had a substitute teacher, and I want to say her name was Miss Kennedy. I might be misremembering her name. Like sort of petite wee blonde lass.
That rings a bell.
Aye. And so she was our subby in computing for one rando class. And so she was like being well flirtatious with us.
Right.
Like
what, all of you?
No, just me. Like
right.
I mean like properly inappropriate in a classroom setting. Like so she sat down like right next to me. And like in computing, you mind what computing was like? It was just up your sky.
Sometimes it was,
where you were just like, you put together whatever spreadsheet or maybe a document, and that was it. I don't recall ever doing like HTML or how to do anything useful. It was just,
We did that, but remind me later, and I'll come back to it.
aye, so she came, she sat next to me, and like she put her hand on my leg,
Right.
and I was like, "Miss, do you want to like back off a wee bit?"
Aye.
And she was just like, how much she loved young meat.
Right, no, I think now is where you're talking straight, but keep going.
Okay, but like I say, she was in amongst it. It was pure really uncomfortable. And like I say, totally inappropriate. And she was one of those teachers, she was normally a fucking cow, like, at all times. But I remember the time, I remember being like an actual pure laugh. And anyway, she gave us a blowy. Just went
No, you're talking straight again. Computing? You were on about HTML.
HTML, aye.
We did, I remember us doing programming one time, and I was that way, like the teacher was so boring, I was just totally zoned out, and I was just sitting blindly copying the boy Craig, who was sitting next to me, right? Just whatever he typed, I typed. And so it got to the point where we're supposed to put our names at the end, put like coded by Jack. And then like the next week I get pulled out of class and the teacher goes, do you want to explain something? And he shows me, and then at the bottom of mine it says coded by Craig Jameson, and I was just on such autopilot that I even copied like that off of him. And they were like, why is your code the exact, because it must have had one or two mistakes, and they're like, it's the exact same mistakes, and yada yada yada, and you signed it. That's him, and I was like, there's probably a reasonable explanation here, sir. And then he just went, I think the reasonable explanation is, and he tore the sheet of paper in half, and he was like, it's now null and void, and you need to do it again or whatever. And I was like, whatever. I'm sure it was third year. So I don't think it was an exam, but it was like a sort of test.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a proper you're getting expelled for this or anything, but it was like, what are you doing? You need to redo that. That was a horrific job. I remember hearing myself recorded back one time because they would record the calls, and it was like I was asking, no, can I have your NSNI number? No, I gave you it already. I was like, no, you didn't. I gave it to you as soon as you answered the call. I was like, that wasn't an NSNI number. That was just you barking arbitrary syllables at me, mate. I didn't call them mate. I should have called them mate. Should have called her hen or babe or something.
Babe.
Listen, babe. Been doing this a while. I've only ever called someone babe in that context once.
What, in a call centre?
No, and like deliberately trying to just
derogatory.
Yeah. Not even so much derogatory, but just sort of like, I'm not taking you seriously type of thing. Aye. That was bad of me. I was being a butthead. I've had ringworm, which I don't know. Do you know what that is? No, it's like a skin infection.
Ew.
Oh, I don't know if infection is. You know what like staph is?
No.
Yeah, it's basically a shite version of staph. It's nowhere near as bad, but it's really contagious. And because we were wrestling and shit, you'll pass it on dead easy. So like I couldn't do any contact stuff for the past like week or so.
I'll just disinfect that bit where you're sitting on the sofa.
Oh no, it's gone now. And
I always don't know why I was assuming
stopped.
ringworm was like something to do with your ass.
Oh no.
Like tapeworms, obviously based on what you're saying,
that's so gross, but no, it's nothing to do with that. It's because it's like a sort of ring. It's like a sort of circle, and it's like sort of elevated.
Oh, and in the meantime though, somewhere between that, Magneto is shagging Rogue.
Yes.
You kind of find out it's because his magnet powers.
Well, do you? I mean, it seems like they can touch.
Yeah, exactly. It's like his magnet powers stop her touching him.
I had to even go Google that because so that is,
Google what? Is it possible to use magnets to?
Well, no. I just googled like can Magneto and Rogue touch? Because the thing is I knew that was part of their backstory, right? That they used to like date or whatever.
Used to bone.
Yeah, but
you gotta go beat Frankie. Go beat Frankie.
It never really.
from the sources that I've like read, you know, I found out about like playing X-Men Legends and things like that.
Alright.
So like those sources never really went into details.
Go fight Frankie, the yellow
Okay.
guy. Before he
Yeah.
steals that top left and you lose.
Okay. Aye, so like it never went into details, and I guess I never really I always sort of wondered, like, so did they not touch, or like what was the script with that? So I don't know if in the comics they can or can't. I don't actually know, but yeah, I guess magnets.
Yeah, magnets facilitate the boning apparently, and he's like pure. And I'll need to rewatch it just to confirm, but I'm sure he's like pure 100 rads. He's like he's more irradiated.
That's how
the height.
Yeah.
He's like more radioactive than everything in the real game. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I've stood in like piles of toxic waste that weren't as irradiated as that guy. But she's like that. She realizes that he's a fucking raider. And she's just boned him. So I wonder if that will come back to bite her later on. And he wipes it on the curtains. I know, he's just filth. I think maybe that's what sets her off. Is this guy's just he wipes it on the curtains. Like raider, total raider. And they fight, and she kills him.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels earned. It's not one of those like pure, you know, like fight, overcome the patriarchy, like absolutely whoops his ass. Like no, he like stabs her. And she gets the stim pack, and she injects the stim pack in, and she's like, all good. And you're like, it's just like the game.
Yeah.
Have you developed any super moves for your fighting yet?
Well, no, but
You
don't have super moves, but you do kind of have signature moves in a way.
Call out.
Just the way you
just call out your attack.
Well, I was talking to a Thai fighter a while ago, and they do this stupid thing like when they land like a kick or whatever, they'll go "Ooh," like that. It must be one of those things where like over in Thailand,
this tech surely.
Well, over in Thailand the crowd must do it, and then it must be one of those things that's just kind of like spread like that. But it's just funny how like Muay Thai guys would slag karate guys for like wearing the gis and being like the kia and all that stuff. But I'm like, you guys do the exact same thing with your like ooh, you know that, and you're like nah when you throw kicks. Guy threw a kick the other day, and he legit went teep when it's like a teep's like a sort of pushing kick, like a sort of front kick. And I was like, how you've got a cheek to slag any other like, you know, martial arts style? Like, imagine I would just like that side kick every time I threw it. Like that, just, you know. My point is they're all quite silly.
We're the lot of dumb bitches we went to school with, didn't we? Honestly, the more I think about it, we did not have the brightest. But I know they say that girls outperform boys and stuff like that, but I really remember some like absolute retards at our school, man. Just the dumbest of the dumb.
There was a girl called Linda, and she got Reganin and she was like 16 or whatever.
Oh, that Reganin. Let's see, what is that?
She was a moron.
That's what I'm saying. There was like, they talk about, you know, STEM and STEM for women, but honestly, it can't be the case that Glasgow's where they're looking. Either that, or there's something in the water, because these were dumb women.
Well, no, I mean, like,
there was dumb men too. I'm not being disparaging. It's just like.
Nah, for me, I would say that there was more. The girls in my year probably did outperform the guys. It's just
okay,
off the top of my head, there were some girls that were absolutely just incoherently stupid. If a kid in the street, when we say kid, I mean if you like,
like a 14.
13, 14 year old, I'd slap him. I'd bitch slap him. I wouldn't pin him down, cave his head in, but I'd slap him.
Just wide, open hand, full palm.
I would actually just bitch slap him like that, because he'd know he can't batter me, and I'd know that I could batter him. So, but it would be more, it's just kind of like reassert yourself in front of like his pals, kind of type of thing.
You have to step in.
So he doesn't do stuff like that again.
Exactly.
I would slap him with someone else. You do it to the wrong person, they freaking leather you. As much as he's this hypothetical boy we've just invented, much as he's a wee dick, we don't want him to actually get killed.
That door won't open.
There was almost some argy-bargy when... Well, there was some argy-bargy when I was in... where were we? Budapest. Right, so... Well, it's kind of funny, right? So, I've set the scene. There was only one toilet.
Okay.
And it had this weird shelf on it, right? So you would take a shit and your shit
on the shelf?
No. So it was in the toilet, right? You would shit in the toilet, but the toilet had a weird sort of shelf.
Right.
And then when you would flush it, it would wash it off the shelf and, like, you know, away.
Okay.
Right? And so I can't remember who did it first, but the first person to, like, take a shit sort of, like, looked and sort of noticed, and they were like, why is there a weird shelf? So they just left it. So that just became some weird thing where, like, you would shit and just leave it. And the next person would go in and sort of
shit on top of the
well,
shelf?
No, maybe, I don't know, but I feel like everybody sort of flushed the previous one away.
Alright, so you came into the shit then?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right, so that was quite nasty. And then turns out, on like with like a day left of the holiday, turns out there was another toilet right by the front door.
Oh.
That only, I forget who it was, but only like 2 of us. I think there was like 8 of us knew. 8 of us there, and only like 2 of us knew about this secret toilet. It turns out they'd found it on like the first day, and they just were like, no, we'll just keep that secret. It was weird though, because it was like just a sort of cupboard with... I want to say it just had a toilet, but I might be misremembering it. Maybe it had like the toilet and the actual like sink as well. But anyway, the point is, so it wasn't until like the last day that we found out about this. So we'll call them like Jimmy and Joey, right? So Jimmy had been... I don't even know where he'd been, but he was coming in late. And for whatever reason, Joey took exception to this. So Joey came in, and like I'm in the toilet, right, and I was taking a shit, and I just hear this argy-bargy going on outside, and I sort of like, so I'm sitting there dumping my ass, and I sort of like push the door open, like just a hair, to be like, aye, what's going on? Because it's like all commotion and boys getting pulled apart and all that. And Joey, for I don't really know, but just the adrenaline or whatever, grabbed the door and like flung it open. I don't know if he thought I was going to charge out to like sort of back him up or something. So I'm just sitting there with like just a
trousers between your ankles,
shit hanging, and like and I'm sort of just like aye, that's enough, boys, that's enough, stop it. I never really into Call of Duty, but there used to be like these thing called Call of Duty commentaries. They're basically let's plays, but it'd be them playing Call of Duty. Sometimes they talk about the game, sometimes they just talk about random crap. There was a guy called Only Use Me Blade, who his gimmick was he would just run around only using like knives. And yeah, I mean that was like 10-15 years ago, so like now he basically just gets drunk on live stream, and he's been doing that for like the past 4 or 5 years. Like people will donate, and if they donate $10 or whatever, he'll take a shot, and he just gets absolutely just destroyed. And he travels around on an RV with a bunch of other like streamers, and they just stream themselves getting drunk, and so people have made compilations of like all the just like pure most like wasted, just degenerate moments, and like there's stuff where like his girlfriend's like in the back cheating on him and shit like that while he's just like KO'd on the couch. It's like, you don't know whether to laugh or cry, like because I watched a sort of documentary about him. Well, you know, one of these like YouTube documentaries, and it was just saying like his life's just I see like you feel bad even laughing. His life's just like gone down the toilet, and he has to like get drunk every night to pay his bills, like off donations and shit. I don't know, they're just wee fannies. Campbell's the guy that see like when we were on holiday. It'd be like, oh, let's let everybody be ready. Let's leave at 9. Like leave at 9. So get your shit together. It's 9:05, and he's sitting there, just in his boxers, having a snout, drinking a beer. Like, lads, just relax.
Any minute
No,
now.
not. Come on, get a shift on. Although to be fair, we were at his before it, and he did arrange the tickets and everything, so I wasn't too vocal. But I was thinking, like, for fuck's sake, come on. So we got there like kind of 10 minutes before they started, and then we ran into this boy who like Ryan knows, and he sort of just attached himself to us and kind of just hung around us the whole night, which I don't really mind, but I was a bit like, alright, are you just staying now? Alright, cool. He had a bass amp that he left at Ryan's for like a year, and then just randomly messaged him saying, "Oh, can I come get my bass amp tonight?" Or I think it was like, "Oh, I'm outside. Can I come get my bass amp?"
No, fuck off.
Well, I mean, of course, if they ask for it, of course, I think you should give them it back. But like, he was like, "No, I'm at work" or something like that. He's like,
he wasn't home, sort of thing. Well, no, double fuck off then.
So I've mentioned, I can't remember what I said exactly, but I mentioned at some point, I was like, I know, I was being really like, I was like, "Oh, I got a new bass amp the other day, actually, so I was awesome."
It's just sitting outside Ryan's house, just pretending to be Flea, playing like her bass solos, trying to get in his house. I've never been that inclined. I mean, I'm about to go on my holidays, but I've never been inclined for like all day drinking.
Nah.
I just have other things I need to do.
It sounds fun until you think about it, and you're like, actually, there's a bunch of shit I want to kind of like get done first. And then it'll actually be fun sitting about doing nothing, whereas if you sort of just wake up. We had a thing on I'm sure I've told you this recently, but we had a thing on a Cabos bucket list where it was drink a bottle of vodka before you get out of bed. No one did it, because they're all shite bags, but I still think that's a great idea. In some places, I've got a perfect example. It's actually of JoJo, but I'll show you it.
I mean, gravity doesn't really exist in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because you can kind of stand like at an angle that is impractical.
I mean, maybe I'll send you this or whatever, but like, so see how like that's what it looks like in the pose, but that's what they have to do in the game engine. They have to pure like manipulate his arm to actually get that. So that's what I mean. Is like
achieve that pose. Steal his wallet. Is he going to steal his wallet? What? What the fuck is he doing?
What's he doing under there?
Gonna bum him. What? You wanna find out?
I was watching Dirty Sanchez a wee while ago, and Pancho they always mess with when he's asleep. And Pritchard asked him one time, he was like, "What would you do if you found out someone had bummed you when you were asleep?" He was like, "Fucking bummed them right back."
That's certainly one response.
Get this guy.
Oh yeah, he absorbs his powers.
His powers of sort of electricity kind of thing.
The void.
Earthquakes, is that what it was?
Maybe he did bomb him and steal his powers.
She doesn't have facts to deliver, otherwise she just would. And I feel like her attorneys must have, at least at some level, known, I think this is bollocks, because otherwise they would have just said, like, just stick to the facts, don't be throwing in all these superfluous details. But I reckon they must have known, right, we've got nothing, we've got no evidence, we've got shit to stand on, so you need to make them believe you. You need and that's why she's looking at the jury constantly, and
but again, it's that would be that exactly that behaviour's stuff like that is what undermines her.
Yeah, head exploding lady.
Yeah, could she like explode his head?
Is she able to explode his head or not? Because like I can see why she wouldn't.
I think
like
she
politically
could
and stuff like that.
Trying to, because it's like blood. They explain in Gen V that this other girl has her same power. It's like blood manipulation.
Oh, is that what it actually is that makes you do that?
Effectively, her power isn't head explodiness, it's blood manipulation.
And so what, she builds up the pressure or something like that?
Like she can control the blood anywhere, so she can make your arm explode, your dick explode.
Yeah.
In fact, that's what happens in Gen V. The girl kills her parents because she can't control her powers when she first gets them, and then in a sort of later on scene, she makes some dude's dick explode.
There we go.
Well,
did I tell you I was in a pub and the bartender was an absolute goon. He was a pure roaster. He was one of those guys like, he thought he was just like pure interesting, but he just wasn't. He was on about like, how long do you reckon it would take to pour 1,000,000 pints and all that? It's just like, shut up. You're fucking good. But anyway, he was talking to like the manager or whatever. He was like, "I'll just see the end of the boys," and I was like, covering my ears and all that because I hadn't seen it yet. But anyway,
It seems out of character for the barman to be discussing, popular media in front of the punters.
but he wasn't. He was talking to the manager, but there's only like two folk in.
That's still.
Me and some other guy.
I feel that's unprofessional. I'd have said shut
But like
it
I
down.
said, the guy just seemed up pure moron.
Mop down the fucking.
It was that we were like, I don't really like having patter with complete strangers, but normally they say something. Was like, can I get a pint of whatever, please? Says nothing, pours it for me.
I prefer that. I prefer the no nonsense. Here's your pint, £6, please.
No, I prefer
maybe
there
that's
it
just
is, and then
We got a
cheers,
chat.
ta. No, I don't.
Oh,
I don't.
yeah.
I don't want. I don't want the chat, but I want cheer. Not dead silence, as if he's gonna jump over the bar and take a swing at me or something. He's a nice goon. He seems like that. Like I said, he seems like, I'm so random and like interesting. I have such interesting thoughts, probably like on Twitter and all that pish. And that'll be the only reason he knows what's happening in the boys is because it's like it was trending that week or whatever.
Well, my mate Roy played The Sims for years and used to do things like basically trap a sim in a bathroom or something outside, like in an inescapable chamber, and then they would die of starvation, and he would inherit all their money, and then he could just rinse and repeat the process. That was his sort of rags to riches kind of strategy when he played The Sims.
Money earner.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's weird, but okay,